to A Brief History of World War II. Here we revisit all the major events of World War II. Today we will be watching actual footage of battles and interview the men that fought them. First we will go back and watch some very rare footage of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Watch closely because the clip happens very fast.
You gotta go to the soccer game.
Wow, that footage was amazing.
The bombing of Pearl Harbor marks the beginning of World War II. This event forced the United States government to begin mobilizing by selling war bonds and rationing materials they needed for the war.
People bought war bonds and began using less supplies needed for war. They were all helping with the war effort.
Just stop.
Before it's too late, buy war bonds and stamps. Doing all you can, brother? Buy war bonds. Don't let that shadow touch them. Buy war bonds. The U.S. was now a war machine. Every person contributed to the cause. The next major event was D-Day, a massive land and air invasion involving thousands of soldiers storming the beaches of Normandy. We were fortunate enough to get an interview with one of those brave soldiers.
So you were in 101st Parachute Division?
Yes, that's true.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Well, I was a Pathfinder. It means I was dropped before the main invasion. My job was to place a beacon. And the next morning we were wandering through the city, or the forest, when... That wasn't bad.
That's amazing. Is it true about how your company was there during concentration camp liberation?
Yes, they were, but fortunately I was wounded at the time. But one of my friends described it as inhumane and horrific.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
After Hitler's surrender, we focused on the Pacific Campaign. Throughout the European theater, Americans were becoming wary of the Nisei, Japanese Americans. Soon, the government started to intern the Japanese in camps to prevent any espionage. This is my intern room. You see, it's not too big. They took everything from me. I'm going to take this to court.
We now present Court Martial versus United States of America with Chief Justice Holland Stone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We will now hear Fred Korematsu's testimony.
I was locked up in camps. I lost my business, my money, and all my belongings. My rights were infringed, and I was treated like a second-class citizen.
But this was for the good of the country.
Good of the country. The conditions were horrible. This is not fair.
I now rule that the internment of the Japanese is constitutional by military necessity. Court adjourned.
At the beginning of the Pacific War, Japan was taking the offensive. Up until Midway, the U.S. was not doing too well. After Midway, the United States began island hopping, taking islands like Okinawa and Iwo Jima. Okinawa. Navajo code talkers allowed the U.S. military to communicate without the fear of Japan deciphering the codes.
What are these guys saying?
What?
In 1945, the U.S. was in position to attack the main island of Japan.
Here we were lucky enough to find a video of 4 U.S. soldiers taking over Iwo Jima.
Fire in the hole!
A land invasion of Japan would result in millions of American deaths. President Truman decided to drop a new weapon, the atomic bomb.
After dropping the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which resulted in many Japanese deaths, Japan surrendered.
Style. Woo!
Hello and welcome to A Brief History of World War II.
my phone.
Here we revisit all
Holy
the
crap!
events of World War II.
Return fire!
Okay.
Shut up, Daryl.
What? What?
Turn this shit off.
It's not really on.
Sorry, I'm thinking so much.
Okay, I can't do this. Tank, do this. Tank, you're just reading, okay? Just do it for me.
So yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god!